Hi there, welcome to Terraland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Virgo energy, and like usual, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be high vibe Virgo energy, and the bottom row is going to be a more worldly, shadowy Virgo energy. We all have our dualistic nature, and some people are kind of battling within themselves. In their high vibe Virgo energy, they might want to move forward in life differently because they've come into some insight, understanding, healed, growed, matured, something, and they're ready to kind of face their fears and live their life differently, step out of their comfort zone. And some other people might want to do that too, but it's hard, because you might have to detach from some people or things or habits in your life. And you kind of can go through a period of kind of feeling left out in the cold when you do that. And so some people might be struggling within themselves, but at any given moment in time, there's going to be some people, they just kind of keep living their life the way they've been living it, have been there, have done that, have learned the lessons they've meant to learn, ready to face their fears, and they're ready to move forward in life differently. And sometimes there's just other people in our life or in our world that aren't ready to move forward. And maybe they have some things that they haven't learned or healed from, or haven't looked at life from a higher perspective like you maybe have, because the church sets us free to live our life differently. And sometimes some people just don't want to see the truth. And that's why we can struggle within ourselves, because we'd have to detach from some things, and that's difficult. So, the reason for the top row's reading is the Four of Pentacles, which is also why the reading came out. So, you could have harnessed your Capricorn energy differently. Capricorn energy is kind of about what we think is victorious in life, what kind of legacy we want to leave. Some people think it's about, being proud of themselves, that they acted with character and integrity, that, they maintain balance within themselves and in their life. They pursue these things of the world, but they do it with character and integrity and love, and they treat other people the way they like to be treated, and they've grown and they've matured themselves. And other people are just more aligned with their worldly nature, and it's more about themselves or ego or image or money or their fear or their insecurities. And sometimes some people aren't willing to open up and kind of freely give of themselves in a loving manner, and we just have to see the truth of it. Some people are ready to be more open, be more loving. Some people are more worldly, ego, money focused, self focused. And the thing is just to see the truth. And so if you dealt with some people who didn't seem to maybe want to move forward with you in a way where they're more free of the things that manipulate them, and you were ready to move forward because some of those things don't manipulate you anymore, some of your fears, some of your insecurities, or your codependent nature, or your more worldly, materialistic nature, you realized maybe, that you needed to call judgment. You're ready to move forward, kind of be a student of life, willing to step out your comfort zone, willing to learn lessons in life. Our shadow nature can be us kind of being in our ego, and we don't like to change. We don't like to step out of our comfort zone. Sometimes we're selfish, we're bossy, we're greedy, we're immature. And you're calling judgment. If that's who you were, or you had some shadowy traits and characteristics, you want to be free of them. If you were dealing with people who had some shadowy traits and characteristics, you just realize they're not willing to be a student of life. They're not motivated and inspired to move forward in life, to become all they can be. They could be happy living their life the way they live it, and everybody's got the free will to live their life whatever way they want. But you're willing to face your fears and speak your truth and cut out the things you need to cut out in your life, so that those things that could manipulate you don't manipulate you anymore. To see the truth of it, to deal with them, to get to the truth about the matter. Why do I let these things manipulate me? Have I been more worldly focused? Have I been more fearful? Have I been more codependent? And I want to work through those things because I don't want those things to keep manipulating my life anymore. I want to be free of it. I want to feel balanced within myself. I want to be able to be free to speak my truth. And sometimes we're with other people who don't want to do any of that, and then they don't want us to do that. You're supposed to stay right here. You're not supposed to speak your truth. You're not supposed to step out of your comfort zone. You're not supposed to face your fears and insecurities. I don't do that. I don't want you to do it either. Well, are we going to keep letting people kind of be bossy and controlling of us? Life's about being independent. We should, we're all adults. I don't care if someone is your parent or not, We should be respected as being our own unique individuals. We have our own unique interests. We have the things that motivate and inspire us, which can be different than what motivates and inspires them. If they want to live their life that way, you live your life whatever way you want. I'm going to live my life the way I want. And the high vibe people are doing it from a place of truth and love and acting with character and integrity, treating other people the way they like to be treated. Why do some people have a problem with it? Because that's not how they live their life. And they don't like you that you do speak your truth, or you are balanced, or you are just and fair, or you are loving, because they're maybe not. So we have the Three of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. Capricorn and Libra energy. Maybe you had to cut out a Capricorn and a Libra out of your life, or you had to quit operating from a foundation of not wanting to see the truth or being in denial of the truth. We can all stay in situations for quite a while because we don't want to see the truth of it. Because if we speak our truth and we illuminate the truth, then it affects situations. And so for a long time, we're not listening to our intuition. But you also could have dealt with some people who don't put in work and effort to listen to their intuition. And they could keep doing things that are kind of hurtful or unkind or toxic or selfish, and they don't want to see the truth. So you could have had to cut those people out of your life because, I can't deal with people who don't want to deal with the truth. And then we have a card not showing itself, which is the Nine of Pentacles. What some people didn't know about you in your Virgo energy is you are willing to be more independent, where they might reject this because they don't want to be more independent. And the Four of Pentacles and Capricorn energy can represent the world. There's some people that don't want to be more independent in the world, and they don't want to become independent of their ego nature, their fearful nature, their insecure nature, their bossy, controlling, materialistic nature. And you don't want those things to run your life. You don't want the world to dictate that you only have worth and value if you wear this, or you drive that, or you make this money. You're so much more than all of that, and you know that. And that's what they didn't know about you, is that you are more independent than they are. And for some of those people, they don't like people who are more independent. And they held back from you because that's not how they act. And maybe they were hoping if they didn't work together with you and didn't listen to their intuition and held back from you and invested in kind of shadowy, toxic, bossy, controlling energy, that you'd quit listening to your intuition and you'd quit being more independent. But I think you did some work within yourself in your Virgo energy to love and believe in yourself and think about your life and what you value and what kind of workplaces and friendships and relationships you wanted to be in. And you decided to speak your truth. And the Page of Swords is not like an angry energy. It's like, I'm just going to speak my truth. This is my truth. I want to manifest my dreams into reality. And I listen to my intuition and love to guide the decisions I make. And if you're not willing to stand in your truth and kind of have that hopeful, loving, believing nature in life, then you can't come with me. Because I don't want people in my future who harness these energies in a shadowy way, who try to manipulate me, who are immature, who are secretive, who hide that they have these illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. That, well, can't I be in a relationship with you and still be kind of immature and selfish or greedy or materialistic, and you're loving, you're nurturing, can't I just move forward with you? It's like, Well, you might like being in a relationship with me because I'm loving and nurturing and self reflective and I'm in high vibe energy, so I'm not acting in shadowy ways. I'm not being selfish and prideful and manipulative and secretive, but you are. So if you're in shadowy energy, but you get to be in a relationship with me, then you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get to be defensive or selfish or prideful or whatever, and you get to be in a relationship with someone who's loving. But I end up being in a relationship with someone like you, and I want to be in a relationship with someone who's on the same page as me. Someone else who has let go of their more worldly nature and staying in denial of the truth that it's supposed to be about love. It's supposed to be about becoming more independent of your more fearful, insecure, self centered, worldly nature, to have that hopeful, believing spirit that you can manifest your dreams into reality. And instead of letting like your fear or your insecurity or your pride or your ego in your life, you let love and intuition guide your decisions. And for the people that do have people in their life, friends, family, romantic interests, where the people are doing that, then you're all moving forward in this energy. You're holding on to those people and they're holding on to you. Everybody's being accountable for their actions. Everybody is willing to deal with their own fears and insecurities that stop them from taking action in truth and love and maintaining balance within themselves. Because that's what people are supposed to do. But some people think, well, no, I want to be in a relationship with you because that helps me maintain balance within myself. That makes me feel better about myself. Like you're the answer to my problems. Well, if you move forward in a relationship with them, they still haven't dealt with their own issues. Their fear, their insecurity, their lack mentality, their competitive nature, their prideful nature, their petty nature, their jealous nature, whatever it is. And then when their issues bubble back up, then it's like, well, you must not be the person that I'm supposed to be in a relationship with because my issues bubbled up again. It's like, I was not the answer for your problems. You are the one who is supposed to take responsibility for that. But people who are in shadowy energy, they're like codependent and they look to other things outside of them to be the answer. And for some people, it's looking to the people they get in the relationship. That's their vice. Instead of doing drugs or alcohol or gambling, I look to get in a relationship to make me feel more stable and grounded and balanced within myself, to make me have that hopeful, believing spirit. But if that's not the truth of who they are, and they really live more from their mind and their heart, and they're really kind of more immature, and they haven't done this work within themselves to deal with their own issues, to stand in their truth and feel more balanced within themselves, the problem comes up because, they just haven't done that inner work and they've got some work to do. And if you're ready to move forward to like the next stage of life, well, I can't move to the next stage of life. I haven't even worked on this yet. It's like, yes, you haven't. So I'm calling judgment on you. Until you do that work within yourself and speak your truth and stand up for yourself and get more balance within yourself, then I wish you peace, but I'm moving on. And anybody who wants to move forward with me has to speak their truth, has to do this work within themselves to get more balance within themselves. They, in their Virgo energy, need to do this work within themselves to heal, deal with their own fears and insecurities, detach from staying in denial of the truth that you're supposed to be more independent of the world and people and your more fearful egoic nature. To know your worth and value. Learn how to appreciate yourself and what you bring to the table. But some people are like, no, I want to not have to do that work. I want to be codependent on you. It's like, no, because if you haven't learned these lessons within yourself, then you're still going to take action more out of fear, insecurity, immaturity, being manipulative, being secretive, because you haven't grown and matured yourself to take action from a place of love. You have a lot of growing up to do. You're like a king of swords and they're like a page of swords. And in tarot, we have the pages, we have the knights, And we have the kings and the queens. And the pages have a lot more lessons to learn in life than the people who are already like kings and queens. They've already learned a lot of life lessons. And some people thought they could always just manipulate people and hide that they have this illusion about love. Well, can't I just get in a relationship with you and kind of be codependent on you? We'll probably come back to it later, but for now, let's move down to the bottom row. The reason for the bottom row's reading is the Chariot card. So this would be people who like to present themselves as being emotionally balanced, like loving family people, as if they harness high vibe Cancer energy, but they don't. They harness shadowy Cancer energy. And they don't have to be a Cancer sun sign. It's just how they harness their Cancer energy, which is kind of using your emotions manipulatively in a relationship. So people will hire you for jobs and move forward with you in relationships, but they're not really building their foundation from truth and love. It's like creating an illusion that they're that, but they really are probably more motivated and inspired by ego and image and looking like they're moving forward victorious in life. So what is the tarot story to go with it? The Queen of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Ten of Swords. The queens can talk about how we think and feel, and the kings and the masculines can represent the action that we take in the world. Some of these shadowy people are more emotionally invested in their more worldly, egoic nature. The Queen of Wands is Leo energy, which can kind of represent our ego. They're more emotionally invested in the things of the world or indulging themselves emotionally in the world, in their ego. And that can be what drives and motivates them. I'm more motivated by the world. I'm more motivated by ego and image and money and materialism. I want to be in relationships with people, and I might want people who are harness high vibe Leo energy, who are loving and warm and nurturing and supportive. I want them to invest in me. But shadowy Queen of Swords can be people who it's like, I like to repeat this old pattern. And some people view themselves as loving, and they think other people should invest in them because maybe they look like they're moving forward victoriously and successfully in life. And then they want other people to invest in them, but then they want them to stay right here. Don't listen to your own intuition. Don't believe in your dreams. Kind of like make your life all about me. View me as a loving person. Like I'm your ticket to success and victory. They like people to invest in them for those reasons. They also emotionally are willing to invest in other people, even if they're shadowy, if those people are willing to give them those things of the world that they want. I want to look victorious and successful. So since they would be willing to indulge someone for money and materialism and status and image, they think if they have those things, other people should be willing to indulge them for those reasons. Like they should be able to offer people these things of the world that they have to get people to love them and stay in a relationship with them. But they're offering them things of the world. I have looks, I have charm, I have charisma, I have money, I'm good looking. Whatever these things are, I'll have sex with you. Whatever it is of the world I can give you, you should give me love in exchange for that. Focus on me. Let me tempt you with these things of the world. I'm not giving you love. I have these things of the world. In my ego, look at me. I look victorious and successful. I'm good looking, whatever. Be in a relationship with me. And this is how they want to move forward in life. And they want you to turn your back to going with the flow of life, where people listen to their intuition. They heal, they grow, they mature, they close out old chapters of life to give birth to new ways of moving forward. But these other people don't want to move forward in life any differently. This is how they like living life. Shadowy energy can be like dead energy. nothing ever changes. I don't want to do things any differently. I don't want to move forward in life and put an end to making my life more about ego and image and money and materialism. I don't want to move forward in life where I have to be loving. I like to try to manipulate people to get them to do what I want. And people can get in a relationship with them. We have hope and faith and belief, and we don't maybe realize that they're more aligned with their worldly nature or manipulative nature or self-centered nature. So we can move forward with them and put in work and effort to make a relationship move forward and be victorious and successful. But then over time, we end up feeling stuck in the relationship. And it's like, why do I feel stuck? This relationship doesn't seem to grow and mature over time. I might realize that I move forward with someone. Again, shadowy hangman is someone who kind of operates from pride and ego. And they're unwilling to look at life from any other perspective. And it's like, well, what about love? Love's a free will choice. I thought we were going to move forward in love. You kind of present yourself as like this loving family person. And they're like, I like to move forward in relationships and I like to present myself as loving. And I might want to be in a relationship and start a family and all that. But to choose love and really be loving, that's like a free will choice. And I'd have to be more authentically myself and more vulnerable and let I'd have to get out of my ego. I'd have to see the truth that it is supposed to be about love. But I like to get in relationships and kind of create an illusion that it's love. And then we all stay in the relationship because of the money and the status and the image. You should stay in it with me. You should stay stuck with me. This is how I'm going to move forward. I'm going to create an illusion of how happy we are. Because we have these things of the world. We should be happy. I think they'll make me happy. Don't you think they'll make you happy? And then from the 10 down to the 6, some people are like, I'm letting go of this because the difference is the 4 of Pentacles. There could have been a long time that we were putting in the 4 of Pentacles. A lot of work and effort to make a relationship move forward victoriously. And then we realize my dreams aren't going to come into reality with you, are they? Because you're never going to heal or grow or mature from whatever makes you live your life from this more making things that are more superficial and shallow more important than love. And maybe being just and fair and truthful and honest and acting with character and integrity. Because if you're not being truthful and honest and acting with character and integrity, you're operating from your pride and ego and you're trying to emotionally manipulate people to get them to do what you want. And since you don't really want to offer love, people offer these things of the world in exchange for people to love them. And if the other people do listen to their intuition and they are motivated and inspired to move forward in life and listen to their intuition and look at life from a different perspective and expand their perception of themselves and the world around them, and their intuition starts to tell them, I think this relationship is more about this person indulging themselves or about ego and image, and it seems like a more transactional relationship, and they are feeling overwhelmed in the relationship and in a mental prison. Does this person even love me? Why are they wanting to stay in this relationship? And some people, it is all either about them being indulged in their ego, them indulging themselves in whatever relationship they're in, or it's all about the ego and the image, and they're good. And we come in contact with all these different people in the world to help us get clearer about what our truth is. And people say, I feel like I'm being manipulative. I think you are hiding that you have a different idea about what it means to be in a relationship and why you enjoy being in a relationship is different than mine. I want to be in a relationship because of love. And I want to be in relationships with other people who are motivated by love. And I think you just kind of create the illusion that you're loving, but I think you're more manipulative. And my intuition is telling me I should leave and that I should hold back from you and that I should make the decision to facing my own fears and insecurities about speaking my truth and standing up for myself and taking the action I need to take in my life to get the justice I deserve. And I don't think this relationship is a just and fair relationship because I'm operating from love and you're kind of operating from ego. And you should go be in a relationship with someone who's motivated and inspired by the same things you are, or someone else who's willing to give up their dreams and listening to their intuition and becoming all they can be and speaking their truth because you want someone to make their life all about you. So some of you have already done this and you've already stood up for yourself and you're manifesting this new beginning. You're looking for other people that you feel are on the same page as you. You know, with the devil, it can be people that you're attracted to. But, you know, you're looking to get beyond the attraction to get to the truth. I've already maybe gotten in relationships with people I was attracted to that were charming, blah, 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 blah. But I want to be in relationships with people who are balanced within themselves, who really are who they say they are. And also, I think high vibe people speak their truth, offer love and resources to people to help other people deal with their fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs about speaking their truth and putting in the work and effort to get more balanced within themselves. Offset your fears and insecurities with some love and compassion and some forgiveness. We've all made mistakes in life. We're all going to make more mistakes. Life is all about learning lessons. Virgo is about going within to see the truth of the lessons we do need to learn. And even the ones we didn't know we needed to learn. You know, and again, we have so many layers to our worldly nature, our codependent nature, our fearful nature, our things, our want for those things of the world. Are we willing to give up our dreams and give up our truth because we're so tempted by those things of the world? And some people are. Some people have other people in, you know, we have this dualistic nature. So we have some people in our life who aren't trying to manipulate us. They love us. They encourage us. They want us to become all we can be. But we can have also other people in our life who don't want us to face our fears and our insecurities and heal and grow and mature and become all we can be because they're not planning to do that. And they want us to not do those things and to keep being tempted by our more worldly nature, our ego, our fear, our insecurity, our codependent nature, our want for the stability and the security, that we're willing to give up our truth and our dreams to settle for those things. And we have lessons learned. And there could be some people right now that, because they could have love for some things in the world or some people in the world in their life, or their love for the world, it just kind of manipulates them. You know, our shadow nature is represented by the devil. Those things that we want, but if we make those things more important to us than loving ourselves, standing in our truth, taking action in truth and love, those things can get a hold of us because have given those things too much importance. And it can be just codependent on other people, but we can get love indulging in some things of the world to try to make us feel better. And I just don't think it turns out the way we want. I think we keep moving forward in it, and then we feel overwhelmed and we're up in a mental prison because we thought for sure, you know, we all do what we think is right at any given moment based on lessons that we've learned in life. And we're pretty sure we think that'll make us happy. And then we find out, like, shit, why is this making me feel overwhelmed? And why am I in a mental prison? And if we get out of our ego and we start to go more with the flow instead of refusing to admit that maybe we were wrong? Because we have to get out of our prideful, egotistical nature to be willing to learn lessons in life and admit that maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I do have lessons to learn. And then we go with the flow and we get out of moving forward more in our ego or our defensive nature or our codependent nature. And we start listening to our intuition and we start to do this work within ourselves to get more balanced and figure out, why do I feel overwhelmed? Why am I kind of in a mental prison? You know, am I willing to stand up for myself? Do I love myself? Do I believe that I can manifest my dreams into reality? Am I willing to listen to my intuition? And the thing is, our intuition was given to us as a gift to try to help us navigate this world, because we are dealing with people that have this dualistic nature too. And people can kind of present themselves in the world in whatever way they want, but that's not really the truth, maybe, of how they feel and think. So it takes, we got to learn lessons. If you're someone who's very loving and giving and nurturing, and you get in relationships with people and you love them and you're nurturing and you're supportive and you're encouraging, you can't understand why they won't do love. But for some people, love is the enemy. I could get hurt doing that. I'd have to let my more vulnerable nature out in the world to play. And I don't let my more vulnerable nature out to play in the world. I operate from my emotionally defensive egoic nature. That's what I've emotionally invested in. And I don't want to put an end to that. I don't choose love. I never get more balance within myself. I also, at some time in my life, might have invested in some people and it didn't work out the way I wanted. And I kind of gave up my dreams. I don't love and believe in myself anymore. I just don't want to do love anymore. And I've just decided I'm going to emotionally indulge myself in these things of the world. I'm good. Everybody's got free will. We just need to see the truth of it so we don't get stuck trying to hold on to someone who's already made the decision that they want to invest in living more from their mind and their heart and their more shadowy nature. Again, being all about themselves, being defensive, being in their ego. If that's what they choose to invest in, we need to hold back from those people. And we need to decide to invest in facing our own fears of detaching from them and standing in our truth. And then as we do that, it takes time, because we are these emotionally complex human beings and we can have deep attachments to people. But if we know our dream isn't going to come into reality with them because they're not taking action, truth, and love, and justice and fairness, and having some self-awareness and getting out of their ego or their fear or whatever it is, then we can't keep working with them and staying in denial of the truth. It gets toxic. And sometimes when some people know, it's kind of like people using the love that you have for them against you to manipulate you. So if I do this and this, you're going to keep staying here, right? Yep. So you're not going to leave, huh? No. Perfect. But that's nothing for them to be proud of. And I think there's even a part of themselves. It just gets worse and worse. It's like an addict. Well, what if I do this? Are you going to stay? Yep. What if I do this? Are you going to stay? Yep. It is kind of like power corrupts. And sometimes people who feel they're in relationships with people who aren't willing to love and believe in themselves enough to face their own fears and insecurities about getting the justice they deserve, they do become worse and worse. And we end up feeling backstabbed and betrayed because we were being in our more authentic nature and people tried to manipulate us. And we should stand up and be like the King of Swords to the Page of Swords. We should be like a good parent figure to our inner child nature to protect ourselves. If there's people in the world that are trying to manipulate us or are being secretive, don't have our best interests at heart, aren't being loving and encouraging, we should be our own best mother, father, coach voice to stand up for ourselves and say no. And some people are doing that right now, And some people already did do that. And some of the shadowy people, it's just like they get in their ego about it. But they probably think that you won't love and believe in yourself. You might move forward. You'll feel overwhelmed. You'll be in a mental prison. I bet you'll come back. Because they know they always do that. Whoever and whatever within them and outside of them that manipulates them, they never stand up for their own inner child nature of hope and faith and belief and love. They always are tempted in their codependency or their fear or their ego to give in to whatever it is that manipulates them. So they thought you would give up on yourself. And for some of those people, that didn't happen. And so they're probably just going to go try to find someone else to manipulate. You know, like Dr. Phil always said, the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. And, you know, hopefully by the time people are teenagers or young adults, their way of being in the world is kind of set, I would say. You know, I'm either a more just and fair, loving person, motivated to want to take action like that in my life, to feel proud of myself, or I've decided I'm okay not living my life that way. And odds are, if you know some people that have been like that, odds are they'll keep being like that. And whatever manipulates them will keep manipulating them. And they'll keep moving forward in their pride and ego. And they'll just create an illusion that they're this high vibe Virgo, Leo, Scorpio, Gemini, Cancer, Taurus, Sagittarius person who, I'm a pillar of society. Look at me. Look at all these things. But really, emotionally, that's not who they are at all. They're manipulative, prideful, egotistical, maybe emotionally shallow, superficial. And if people don't do life the way they want, some of them backstab the people they're in a relationship. You're not willing to make me the center of your universe? I'm going to backstab you. I don't want people to view you as loving and enlightened to the truth. I don't want people to believe that you saw the truth of who I really am. So I'm going to do all these things to try to backstab and betray you. The person who you thought would be just and fair chose to invest in being very toxic because they could think I'm the boss. And if you don't do and live life the way I think is just and fair, I don't want people to view you as the just and fair person. I want them to view me as the just and fair person. So I'm going to do everything I can to discredit you. For some, what's coming up for some of the people who harness some high vibe Virgo energy that they might not see coming up? Okay. The Seven of Swords, because of the Queen of Pentacles. Like I say, sometimes shadowy people try to confuse us about the truth. And for a while, it is very confusing. Why is someone who I viewed as loving and nurturing and balanced and enlightened and stable and grounded acting like this? And it is very confusing. And it is because they don't want to live life the way you live it. And they want you to do the relationship the way they want. And you're listening to your intuition and not willing to give up on your dreams. And you're doing this by putting in the work and effort to see the truth. Because the Queen of Pentacles is holding the Ace of Pentacles. And in high vibe, it's seeing the truth. And you're also not being manipulated by your more worldly nature. Because whatever you were in, if it was a job, a friendship, a relationship, or a marriage, or a family situation, you know, there was a part of you that's would like to keep putting in work and effort into making something victorious and successful. But if other people are more motivated and inspired to invest in being deceptive and manipulative or prideful or egotistical or self-centered or all about ego and image and money, you have different dreams. So you're investing in yourself and in loving and believing in yourself and looking at life from a higher perspective. And I think you're not going to let any obstacle keep you from kind of being in the center stage of your own life, which everyone deserves to be in the center stage of their own life. And some people are like, no, I don't want, you give up your life. You make your life about my life. It's like, yeah, go find someone else. So I think people will get out of their mental conflict because they're offering love to their worldly nature to free themselves. They're holding themselves and other people accountable for their actions. People either take action in truth and love and justice and fairness and act with character and integrity, or they don't. And I'm not confused about the difference between the two. And you know your worth and value. And I think as you move forward in this way, and other people see that you are moving forward in this way and standing in your truth and knowing your worth and value, and that you are this emotionally mature person, there's going to be other people who are going to want to hire you and work with you and be in relationships with you. What's coming up for the people who harness a more worldly focused or shadowy Taurus energy? We have the Two of Cups, the Five of Cups, and the Death card because of the Six of Swords. The high vibe, the shadowy people thought they knew they had loving people in their life, but they could have done some things and taken some action to really try to cause you a lot of mental conflict about loving and believing in yourself and believing in your dreams. And some of them wanted to stop you from believing in your dreams, and some of them wanted to stop you from shining your own light in the world. I want you to be in negative energy like me. I want you to be in your ego. I want you to be in competitive energy. I want you to be in all these negative energies, which is probably what they're in, because they're not operating from a foundation of love. They're moving forward, living from their mind. I can manipulate and control people. I've been backstabbed before. I'm not doing love. I gave up on my dreams. I don't like that these other people love and believe in themselves and believe in their dreams. I want to backstab them. So sometimes, the people we get in relationships with, they have other people in their life that want to backstab and betray you. Don't move forward with them. No, you should stay focused on me. I might only be your sister, or I might be your friend, but I don't want you to move forward with those people. I want to backstab and betray them. So I'm going to play on your fears and your insecurities, and so you shouldn't trust those people. So I want to get you to where you're not listening to your intuition, where you're not having that hopeful, believing spirit. I want you to be focused on me because I like to manipulate and control you. And I don't like those people. And I don't want you to align with your loving nature and become all you can be. And I don't want you to be with those people. I want you to backstab and betray those people too. And some of those people did. And we really shouldn't be mad at the third parties in their life that can manipulate and control them, because it was just highlighting. It's kind of like the third parties in their life are just people who kind of represent a shadowy aspect that is within them, because otherwise they won't align with it. We wouldn't align with doing something that isn't kind of aligned with the truth within ourselves. And they could have maybe just been looking for an excuse because they maybe don't love and believe in themselves and don't like to listen to their intuition. And they really have a lot of mental conflict about getting out of their more worldly focus of life and their more maybe materialistic view of life. And they kind of want to really live their life that way anyway, for some. And so those third parties just kind of are trying to make us see the truth, because before we didn't want to see the truth. And so it just helps us see the truth that we weren't wanting to see. That the people we were investing in were trying to manipulate the truth of who they were, and we were buying into it for a long time. And the third parties just tried to help illuminate, basically God used them to illuminate the truth of the people we were in a relationship with. These people aren't ready to move forward like you are. These people aren't motivated and inspired by the same things you are. And you needed to see the truth of it. So we used some people in their life that are kind of shadowy or selfish or bossy or controlling or like to manipulate people to come tempt them to align with them. And they did. we wanted you to see the truth because you were wanting to stay in denial of the truth. So it was all for our benefit. But the shadowy people are surprised that the loving people in their life did heal and they changed. And they're willing to take action in truth and love, and they're not willing to give up on their dreams. Instead, they just realize that I need to emotionally detach from people who harness this energy in a shadowy way, who are more aligned with their more worldly view of life or their more self-centered way of life. And they really could have a lot of mental conflict they don't want to deal with. Or there's someone who wants to win at all costs and it really doesn't matter who they hurt. Who makes me look like I'm moving forward more victoriously? Who's got more money, status, image, or power? And it was just revealing the truth. And you realized, I just need to detach from being in relationships with people like you. And you did. And you're continuing to move forward. You've transformed your whole life. And they're going to repeat the same pattern over again because the truth sets us free and they didn't learn the lessons they were meant to learn yet. So they can't move forward in life differently. They have things and people in their life that they're not willing to hold back from or hold accountable for their actions or hold themselves accountable for their actions. And until they're willing to do that, they're going to keep repeating this pattern, living more from their mind and their heart, probably trying to manipulate people, trying to confuse people about the truth of who they are, always feeling overwhelmed and stressed because they know that they're not being authentic, and they're always afraid that the people that they're in a relationship with will see through the illusion of who they are and end the relationship with them. How can I keep trying to manipulate and control this person? How can I keep them in their fear and their insecurity and their codependency? And they don't do it by choosing being loving. They do these shadowy ways. I know, I'm going to be bossy and controlling. I'm going to be stubborn. I'm going to be secretive. I'm going to do these things to kind of backstab him. It's basically trying to wear down the self-esteem of the person they're in a relationship. So that person is like, this whole idea of I'd rather stay with the devil I'm with than go face the devil I don't know. And they kind of wear down their self-esteem so much that the people aren't willing to get out of the relationship because they're so afraid of dealing with other shadowy people. But the whole thing is, probably 50% of the people are in more high vibe energy than shadowy energy. And the bulk of the people are probably kind of waffling back and forth if the bell curve is right. And if we just listen to our intuition based on the lessons we've learned from dealing with people like this, we now have the tools. We're not as naive and gullible as we were before. Now, when we go out in the world, we have learned, I'm going to listen to my intuition. And I'm going to hold back from making a judgment to invest in a relationship with people until I get to know them. I'm going to speak my truth, and sometimes just you speaking your truth is enough to make some people run away. It's like, oh, shit. So you're not kind of caught up in the illusion, the fantasy, and you're not going to take action from like pride and ego and lust and greed. Okay, bye. Because some people, that's all they're looking for is someone who's in that type of energy for them to indulge themselves in a relationship with. It's like, no, I know my worth and value. I'm a loving, nurturing, balanced, just and fair person. I'm looking for people who are in that same energy with me. And if you're not, bye. And another thing the shadowy people didn't see coming is that the loving people are maybe going to move forward with someone else who's changed. And their whole life is going to change and transform. And they're moving forward with a new dream. And the shadowy people never thought that would maybe cause them inner conflict because they're kind of full of themselves. But it kind of does because they're kind of in their ego. And it's like, well, I can't believe you got over me. Well, now it causes me mental conflict because I know you're a loving, nurturing person, and now I know someone else is in a relationship with you, and you're a loving, nurturing person. And that's when some of those people might think in their pride and ego that they can pop back up in your life. No, 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 no. Wait, 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 wait. I want to come back and try to manipulate you. I want to try to hide that I might have done these things that were prideful and egotistical, or trying to get you in your competitive energy. Can I still deceive and manipulate you? Maybe get you to get back in a relationship with me? And I think you're going to hold back from those people because you know they haven't changed. Now, there could be some other people in the world that you meet who do, and they're going to speak the truth. They're not immature and manipulative. They're people who are being authentic. I view you as someone that I think I could manifest with, and I might initially just want to get to know you, but I might be hiding that I really think my dreams could come into reality with you. But both people, because they've dealt with shadowy people, everybody kind of just wants to be careful. You know, I don't want to get caught up in fantasy land, and I'm going to look at life from a bigger perspective, and I'd like to get to know you before we, decide if we really want to move forward with this. But some other more immature people might think, can I be the next person to come manipulate you and indulge in a relationship with you? And you're like, no. Peace. Hope it works out for you, but I'm moving on. So there you go, Virgo energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.